Communism never ever makes errors. When you were in these extreme states of emotion, did you make the best choices 100% of the time?
Oh, God.
Said Mark, damn!
Cookies!
I was trying to eat the pain away.
And under communism, no one will ever go hungry again.
Thanks, O Biden.
Boss! I want my motherfucking cookies right now! You piece of fucking shit!
You don't have to yell at me. I'm literally sitting next to a picture of Karl Marx.
Thank you. First want to say it is a pleasure to be here. It is wonderful to know that our evil empire is expanding here. So, and also, nothing really says you're a communist than supporting public access television. So, thank you, comrades. Thank you for your help in the revolution. So, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to just shout it out. I can't really see you from up here, so.
You have a channel.
I do have a channel, yes. It is called the Communist Manifesto for Personal Finance, and if we could change the name, we probably would make it a little bit shorter, kind of help with that SEO, so unfortunately. But yes, our channel is called the Communist Manifesto for Personal Finance, so where we try and answer, we first try to indoctrinate you into communism and then try and teach you about personal finance, so.
What's your cut?
My cut of... Well, unfortunately, if I wanted to make money, I would not have become a communist, so... Although we are trying to hope to get merchandise at some point, so, you know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Always try and get the T-shirts for all the comrades out there, so.
How do you handle all the hair changes?
All the hair changes? With the hair changes, it was very annoying at the beginning, so it's definitely there's a lot of takes of me trying to just get the hair out of my face, so a lot of that filming was during COVID when I couldn't get a haircut, so it was not fun during filming, so yeah. All those hair changes were not great.
Now, although your tongue is firmly in your cheek, from the right or the left, what have been some responses to your short films?
Generally, I don't think the capitalist pigs know we exist, which it's a shame because we really want to sell out at some point to them. So, at some point, that our end goal is eventually to get enough subscribers that they just buy us off. So, but on that, unfortunately, we haven't gotten to that yet. From the left, I mean, generally, people seem positive. I think we're mostly positive towards communists. I mean, you got to make fun of yourselves a little bit as long as it's approved by the Communist State Party, so. Yes, I will admit we will break the fourth wall and just say, yes, the puppets are played by me, so. There is actually no one named Bolshevik Bunny who's doing that voice. Our main goal is when we're talking about personal finance, it is generally very dense and very confusing topic, so we have to try and use like children's television show techniques in order to try and explain the concepts fully, so.
You have a little bit of a Congressman Santos look. Is it possible you're not a communist?
I mean, there's probably lots of communists hidden around in Congress, I'm sure. I imagine. I'm sure that it's there's so many. No, that's not true. We haven't been relevant for 30 years, so what are you gonna do?
Okay, thank you, Comrade Mark.
Thank you.
매대, 연락이 기에 오도세요.
地球上にはもう何も存在していない。私が自分の惑星を出てから約600年が経過していると思われる。そしてそれは私が人海gegを去ってから400年。私は人類最後の人間だ。私が人間でいられる日が今終わろうとしている。私は自分の両親を船の中央コンピューターにアップロードしている。これは私が星の輝きを感じることができる最後の日だ。ここは寒く、私たちが知る宇宙の端に向かっている。私は今この金属の棺になっている。ワイヤーは私の静脈だ。私の心はエンジンだ。どのくらいの時間ここにいたのかは思い出せない。多分 100万年くらいかな。もう何も存在しない。そしてもう何もない。私はどこにいる？私はどこにいる？私はどこにいる？
Jackson also gave me just a little bit. There's a little behind the scenes look at the set they created in the garage, how they did this, which is pretty cool. Jackson, why don't you go ahead and you talk, and then we'll show the BTS stuff.
Hi. That was awesome. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, it was fun to
make a sci-fi Blade Runner Alien 2001 mixture. Yeah, yeah. What did inspire this? It was, we were commissioned to do a couple of shorts for a company that they ended up not posting anything, but we had to make little tiny short films, and so that was why it was split up in episodes, like a couple second episodes. Otherwise, it would have been one long film or one short film. But so it was kind of structured for that, but it ended up, I think, turning out better than what we would have done anyway. So, and we like that kind of stuff. I don't know.
There's a view of the set right there.
Yeah, that's the set. Yeah, it's just in the garage.
So when you were given the opportunity for this show, like multiple short films, like where did this idea come from?
Let's see. I think it started out with, so the images of the planets are actually macro shots of bubbles. And I saw it on just probably scrolling through Instagram or something, just a picture of a bubble, and I was like, wow, that looks amazing. And wouldn't that be cool if that was some type, if there's a little spaceship floating around, and then I think in the beginning it was just going to be just random shots of bubbles, and then as we started to film, it started to grow into like, oh, maybe there's a Japanese guy floating around, and then, oh, maybe he uploads his brain into the computer, and then, oh, maybe he dies, or not. Yeah. No stock footage. It's everything is 100% filmed by us, and I did all the music, and we both did all the set design and filming.
What did you shoot?
I think he had let's see, I think he just had a Sony, it was a Sony A7i, yeah. Which, yeah, it looked amazing on that camera, and just because it was good for a low light. Yeah, anything else? Oh, cool. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Have you had much play in other festivals?
This is the first. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see it on a big screen.
What was the idea where the skull, it looks like you have wires going in?
Yeah, we wanted to give an idea that he's becoming part of the ship and part of the computer. After maybe thousands of years, the ship is kind of merged with his skull and his mind. Yeah. It's like, what? It's just the beginning.
Whose eye was it?
Both of our eyes. The first eye was my partner's eye, and then as he blinks, it blinked to mine.
Which one of you had the skull?
That was mine. Yeah. Oh, cool.
First film, or have you done
No, we've done. He's actually, he goes to film school in L.A. Amro. Yeah. He's done quite a bit. I haven't done as much, but I've done other stuff myself, and we do things together too. Oh, cool. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, John.
Bought the bike.
Hi, Marley.
So is there anything wrong with it? It seems solid, like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it's good. It was my ex-husband's. Yeah, he always took care of his stuff, so yeah, I'm sure it's good.
If he was your ex, obviously he didn't take such good care of you. Just saying. Maybe he was too busy taking too good care of his bike. Which is good for me, seeing as I'm checking out the bike.
Yeah, he definitely put a lot of time into it.
How far did you guys ride when you were together?
I didn't go. I couldn't keep up, and he never wanted to wait, so I just end up riding alone. Not much fun. Do you want to take it for a test ride? You go around the houses around there, around back.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hey, thanks.
Wow, it's like 3 hours you've been gone.
It's a good bike. I got you a pretzel.
So you're buying it?
No. I didn't like riding it that much.
What? Like, but you're gone like forever.
I thought it'd be more fun than it was. I had fun stopping by the river, getting an ice cream, stopping at the market. I went by a guitar shop too. That was cool. But the bike, I realized I really don't like riding alone.
I can make you a really good deal on it.
I was only riding to get to places, which were good. And I wished I were enjoying the journey more, but I wasn't. Maybe I need to find someone to be on the road with. That's what's missing. Someone to share a ride with.
It's a really good price. $250. That's like a $1,200
The
bike.
river's beautiful. But if you're not sharing it with someone else, somehow you're missing it, you know? You ever go down there?
I don't have time for stuff like that. I am working so many hours a week.
Or ride over to get an ice cream?
No, never done that either. I know where that little place is, though.
You want to see what it's like? Then maybe I'd have a sense for what it would be like if I were with someone. If it would be good to have a bike. And if you say yes, and I get to have ice cream twice in one day, that's a good day, however you look at it.
I'll get my bike.
Oh, hello, angel. What's your game? You turned away from love. You watched it slip away. Now you're afraid of what you had. You left it all behind for the spring you want. Now
Hello. So my name is Kenneth Wajda, and I had a house and a bike, and I said, we can make a film here. That's my house, it's my bike. Any questions?
Nice house, nice bike.
You know, at the end that he was going to turn out to be a nice guy because pretty much all the way through you thought he was a jerk.
Jerk, or did everybody think he was a jerk? Yep. I thought he was an oddball, like he had like no social skills. But a jerk is also has no social skills. I work all the time. And so get on the bike. It may not be anything between them, but it's about she needs to go get an ice cream once in a while. Yeah. That's what the story was.
Good. Got that. I got that.
Yeah.
It seemed like a love letter.
That's a good thing.
It was great.
It seemed like a love letter to Lions. Was that kind of in the back of your mind there too?
Does anybody recognize Lions?
Oh, yeah.
The old ice cream
Yeah.
shop that's like
Yeah.
the same color anymore. And guitar stores going on. And, yeah, it was right before the flood. So that was 2011. The flood was 2013. So that whole neighborhood right in front of my house was all washed away. So a lot of people in Lions have gone back though because they just want to see what Lions look like.
Who was the hot blonde?
That's my partner, Mary. She's an actor in LA. If anybody has any leads to talent, she's working out there. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, Boy Crush, Jake.
He's so good. He's just kind of, you can tell he knows what's going on. Have you met him before?
No.
I'd like to. Maybe one day I'll meet him. I think he'd probably think I'm pretty cool. I'm the kind of guy that would be friends with a guy like this. Absolutely. I like all of these, honestly. Do you think he'll respond?
No.
He's gonna respond. Hey, Kentucker. Oddly. Hey, Kentucker. This is Jake Hamby. Hey there, Kentucker. Hey there, Kentucker. My name is Jake. I live in Denver, Colorado, and I am a pretty big fan of yours. The reason I'm contacting you today is because I recently made a little video project that I sent to you. It was kind of an act of love. You sent me this email back. I'm going to read it for you. It said,
Dear Jacob, thank you for sharing your project with Redacted. While we appreciate the effort and commitment, unfortunately it was not selected for Redacted. We wish you good luck with Redacted.
all the best.
All the best, Kentucker.
I thought it was kind of weird how you were saying we in your email. You kept saying, we appreciate you. I mean, how many Kentuckers are there? So I didn't love that. It would be really great if we could just sit and have a conversation, because this is not exactly how I was hoping things would end up between us. We could sit and say things that we appreciate about each other. So for instance, I might say, Kentucker, I think you have a really great mustache. And you might say, well, thanks, Jake. I think you're a really good artist and I like the video you made me, or something like that. You probably wouldn't say that, but just as an example that if you wanted to do the exercise, that's maybe how it would work.
I don't know what to tell you. I think you are hot and cool, and I want you to like me. Like, what do you want me to do? It's not a big deal.
Okay. Get over it. Guess what? I don't have to. Do you think this is your movie? This is my movie. This is not your movie. I literally do not have to get over it. If you want to come out here and fight me, I'm willing.
Come fight me, Kentucky!
You cannot make me get over it. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little frustrated with this whole situation, I just like to look through some of my favorite photos of him. Those like piercing blue eyes. Not all the photos capture it, but some of them really do. When I got your email, I was actually in a lot of physical pain. A few weeks before, I had been picking berries in this patch that you see around me. I got some really bad poison oak. I know that rejection is just part of the process, and I just have to keep making things and everything will be fine. But Kentucky, life is short. Either of us could die at any time. Anyway, if you have any feedback or notes or anything, I would love to hear what you have to say. My name is Jake, and my phone number is 470-332-0763. And you can call me anytime.
I don't think it would have been any creepier than this film. So, my name's Jake. Thank you for watching.
I thought that was beautiful. What camera did you use for shooting?
That was a Sony FS7 II. And my friend Joe shot it. He's the one in the back in the baseball cap. So if you like how it looked, thanks, Joe. I think I had the idea in July, but I think I had the idea in July, and I kind of put it to the side for a little bit because I was waiting for Joe to have time, and then he gave me a day that we could shoot it, and I pretty much wrote it the night before, and then we shot it in a day, and then I think I edited it in about a week.
That was just one day of shooting?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, good job.
Thanks. I'm good at walking.
Did you really get the poison ivy or the poison oak?
Well, there was the first time that was in the story, and then there was the second time filming it again, so yes.
That looked awful.
I think the second time wasn't as bad because I built up a little bit of, immunity. Thank you.
It felt like the film really came from your heart.
Yes, Kentucky Rodley is a real person. That was his real website if you'd like to see any of his photos. It's my understanding that he had a name that was a little bit less catchy, and when he moved from his home state of Kentucky, he changed his name to Kentucker to bring a part of that state with him. And it's funny to me that someone who would do that would not appreciate this film, but that's the case.
Did you actually submit it to him?
Yes, Kentucker watched this film, and I have a website that this film is published on, and the email correspondence is published alongside the film.
What's the website?
jacobhamby.com/experimental zone. Thank you. This is my first time on camera. But I like to think after 5 years in Boulder, I got a little bit more in touch with myself. All right, well, thank you guys.
Nice shot, loser.
Like, you could do much better.
My turn now. Sucks to suck, I guess.
How did you do that?
Pure skill.
Looks like it's my turn now. What did you do?
Hello. How's it going? Yeah, so that was the pool video. Basically what the inside of my brain looks like. Yeah. Any questions? What's up? Hello. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's just supposed to look weird. Yeah. Yeah, it's just supposed to make it like creepy and weird. Yeah. Thank you.
You like David Lynch movies by chance?
I do. That's, yeah. Yeah, how could you tell?
Very creative.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to shoot?
Like an hour. We just basically were testing out a new camera, and that's how this was made. So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of post-production stuff.
Was that in your basement?
My friend's basement. Yeah.
Can you play pool?
Nah, I'm okay. Not the best. Yeah. And, yeah, also, spelled my name wrong, but that's okay. Yeah, it's all good. D.I., yeah. Okay, well, thank you.
That one looks like a rabbit. See it, Grandma? That one? Yeah, see it?
Crazy rabbit with a broken leg?
Yeah.
Here, I'll tell your mom. Being chased by a hunchback monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You see it, don't you, girl?
Happy birthday, dear Sissy. Happy birthday to you. Make a wish.
Hey!
Hey, sweetie, open this one first. Hey, I saw some cute dresses at the mall.
Just cute, not super cute.
Come on.
I already have a dress.
You and me, shopping.
As much as I want to be seen in your mint green, eco-friendly hybrid with taupe interior, stimulating the economy, I have plans.
We could look at shoes, maybe get a makeover.
I'll go. I want to get a Nerf gun.
What are you, 10?
Yeah?
A makeover. Wow, that is tempting, but I'll pass. Veronica and I are going to the poetry jam at the Clenched Fist.
Is that a bar?
Yeah, Mom, it's a bar. They let 16-year-olds in now. We're gonna get hammered on Jell-O shots and insulin chasers, and then after, we're gonna go across the alley and get tramp stamp tattoos.
Tattoos?
Wow, that sounds exciting.
I'd get a snake.
Or a dragon.
Yeah, with fire.
Hey, nobody's getting a tattoo.
What would you get?
An expiration date.
Yay.
Grandma, your car?
Watch what you're doing.
Sorry. Hey! Thank you.
Hey, Veronica. What? I thought you said he was gonna ask me. He really said that? I don't care. He can take whomever he wants to the dance. It's whomever. Really? My heart is breaking and you're debating me about grammar. Oh, I don't want to go with you. How lame would that be? Look, I gotta go.
Susie?
What? No, I'm not going. No.
What's gotten into her?
Thanks, twerp.
Hey!
Make another.
You know, I think frosting is the perfect food.
Give me the frosting.
No!
Give me the frosting.
No!
Give me the frosting.
No!
Hey!
Mom, can we go to the store?
I guess so.
Have fun.
What's wrong with her?
My shoes!
Cool colors.
You ate my phone? Dumb dog. So hey, we should have nicknames. I'm gonna call you Zipper. Zipper? Cool. Yeah, and I want you to call me the one. The one? Yeah, like, hey, the one, let's get coffee. Cool.
Hello? 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 Oh no. What did you do? She's already mad all the time.
Oh my.
I didn't do it.
This is awesome.
Good dog.
Hit me.
That's 19.
Hit me. Ha. Ha 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 ha. Come to Papa. Not too many. Dinner's in an hour.
Bills, bills, bills.
Who's Bill?
A no good son of a.
Hey!
Sweetheart, you're not biker material.
Can't I ride a bike every day?
Yeah, a Schwinn.
Oh, but this would be so awesome. The leather pants, the open road. You could be my biker mama.
Yeah, sure thing, honey.
Wow.
Thank you.
Honey, that dress is torn.
They call it distressed. It's all the rage.
No, Grandma, it's supposed to be like that. See, I'll show you what I did. Okay. See right here? All ripped as... Watch what you're doing.
Sorry. Hey, you cute?
Hey, Veronica. What? I thought you said he was gonna ask me. He really said that? I don't care. He can take whomever he wants to the dance. It's whomever. Really? My heart is breaking and you're debating me about grammar. Oh, I don't want to go with you. How lame would that be? Look, I gotta go.
Susie?
What? No, I'm not going. No.
There's a crocodile.
That streak of whiteout?
What's whiteout? Hey, look, there's Dog.
Oh, yeah. I see her.
That gassy fur ball chasing a squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't see it.
Right there.
Hello. Any dog lovers in the audience? Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
How'd you come up with that idea?
I ran over my dog. Yeah, it was brutal, and she lived. And but I asked myself, why did this happen? I mean, it was a bizarre set of circumstances, and then it came to me, the dog had a reason. So, what if the dog sees the future and has to change it? So now me and all my kids, we back into every parking space. We are extra cautious, and you should be too.
They should show this to driver's ed.
Yeah, don't go tearing out the garage like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How did you get the dog to do all
Her name is Sundance, and I trained her for a year. And I actually had a death scene where she would go out and lay. She would go lay on a chalk mural and die. And I was going to have a crane shot. And I taught her to go to a spot and lay down and die. But every time she'd come running up, and then her tail would wag. And I workshopped the script with a friend who said, Don, if you kill that dog, your audience will hate you. And I said, well, it's based on a true story where the dog lived. So I rewrote it, and this is what you see. So I didn't shoot the death scene, but she loved to come and die for me. Isn't she great? Yeah. Yes, yeah. Caroline Berry, she actually went to LA and she's been in some feature films already. So.
Were the family related at all, or was it all?
That's my son, but otherwise it's I had a casting call and cast everybody here.
Great grandma.
She's great. Ellen Ranson is a Longmont resident. She's done dinner theater forever. She lives in Denver. She sold her B&B and moved to Denver. And I've put her in like 4 different films, so I can't get enough of Ellen. She's great. If you come to these LPM shorts, maybe you'll see other shorts of mine that have Ellen in them. So they say don't work with older people or kids or dogs, and I broke every rule. So yeah. That was a happy accident. You know, I was mowing, and I'd see that frog. I named him Froderick, and it came to me. It's like, oh, I could misdirect that, make people think that the dog is eating the frog, and yeah, that's not pretty when that happens.
What did you shoot it with?
That was a Panasonic GH2, and Ken Wajda in the back, he taught me how to use it. He has the same camera, and it was great because I lived with the dog and the kid, so I would get these ideas like, oh, Zane, let's go you need to lay in the driveway this morning because I need to shoot some, and he'd say, Dad, oh my God, that concrete's gold, and I'd say, man up. Yeah. When I figured that out, and my wife came home, I said, I gotta show you this footage. And the hair stood up on my neck when I killed my kid the first time. And but there's a trick to locking the camera on a tripod and masking out the different things. And yeah. And if you throw a piece of kibble across the driveway, that dog will chase anything. So.
Is that dog naturally a barker?
Only at hot air balloons, and which were never in the right place for that sight line. And then one day a balloon showed up in the front yard, and the dog barked at looking at the right spot. So I said, get the camera, get the camera.
Are you working on anything right now?
Mostly focused on some writing. I'm finishing a feature screenplay right now about miracles or not. And it's been fun, but I've got some friends pressuring me to shoot another short this spring or summer, so I think I'll do that too. Thanks for coming.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. My dad dropped me off.
Oh, okay.
Hello. So this is my little film that I recorded at school. Do you guys have any questions?
Do you know Vince?
I do know Vince.
That was very David Lynchy at the end.
I thank you. I appreciate it. I was trying to go for something like that. Any other questions? Oh, the title's late because the whole idea is he's so late to school. And I guess I don't know, I was just coming up with something. I was like, late works because he's late to school and he's getting in trouble for it or something like that. I mean, it was for a school project, so I thought it'd be kind of funny if I did that. It was. It was turned on time and I got 100%, thankfully. It was very similar. It was very inspired by that. By the stalker, isn't that what you said? Yeah, I was very inspired by that. Yeah, I would. That's what I was kind of going for, like a little bit at the end. I was going like David Lynchy kind of Stanley Kubrick Shining, when it's like showing his like picture at the end. And it's like the ooh, he's 1936 or something. I forget. But yeah. Anything else? I just was thinking of movies I've seen in the past, and I was just looking up like droning sounds on YouTube. I mean, it's very like not insane. It's just like basic thoughts that I thought of. Thank you, I appreciate it. Is that it? All right, thank you.
Are you guys ready?
Good morning.
Have a great day.
You too. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Fine. My wife is coming to pick me up.
Oh. Do you need anything?
Like what?
I don't know. Anything?
No, thank you.
Here, let me help you. I'm sorry. That's my house right there. If you decide you do need anything.
Why would I need anything?
Never mind. Hi. He's been sitting up there all day. I'll be right back. Hi.
I'm waiting.
What time was she supposed to be here?
Who? I don't remember.
It's okay. Do you want to come have a cup of tea? I live right there.
No thanks.
Do you mind if I wait with you for a bit?
Okay. Are you here to take me home?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. It is a great night.
It is.
Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome, Dad. It's this one.
What's this one?
Our house.
I don't live there. Who are you?
My name is Anna, and I'm just here to show you to your room.
What was your name?
Anna. Come on.
Anna. My daughter's name is Anna.
I know.
You know my daughter?
I do.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Ooh. Hi. Any questions?
What inspired you for the idea?
One of my best friends, Rachel, had come to visit, and the little baby in that was about that age, and her father had just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And we had a long conversation about what that was going to be like for her, and I went home and I wrote the film in a couple hours, and then I reached out to Tom Parkin and said, hey, you want to shoot a film? And we shot it. Yeah.
Created a beautiful tension without really too many words, and the close-ups on the characters were really beautiful, and the music was really perfect.
Thank you. My friend that I grew up with was the composer for that, and something you may not guess is that we ADR'd the entire film because there was so much traffic noise, and he did the magic on all that.
Where did you re-record the dialogue?
Tom? Yes, at Tom's house. That would be me. That was a while ago. That is me. I used to be a professional actress. I still am. I'm just on hiatus having babies. Yeah. Michael was part of Hitching Post, which was a theater project that I used to run in Boulder a long time ago. And I called him up and asked if he wanted to be in a film. Yeah. Yeah, I've had some people say that they thought he was the creepy, weird guy until the very end, which was part of my point. You had no idea where it was going. Thank you.
One, two, three. Oh, that's elementary. It's gonna be. Come on, let's fall in love. It's easy. Like taking candy from a baby.
Oh, well, I have two names. My birth name is Leonard Borisov. I'm the son of two Russian immigrants. And thankfully, I changed that when I started singing to Len Barry. I didn't. My record company changed it, and I had quite a few hit records, both at the age of 17, 18, with my group, the Dovells. had quite a few hit records, and then I left and went on my own as Len Barry, and I also had, thankfully, a great deal of success around the world as Len Barry also. So I guess for the purpose of this, my name is Len Barry, a.k.a. Leonard Borisov, whatever. Well, I was born in North Philadelphia. My mom and everybody in my family was from Russia, and they were really poor. My environment was all black. My culture was all black. All my friends, both male and female, growing up and actually into my extended life, were all African Americans. I went to and graduated all African American high schools. Started singing with a group called the Cashmeres in high school. And those guys, they were phenomenal. It was the first time I ever sang with a group. And all I ever sang with the Cashmeres was ooh, ah, ooh. I mean, I wasn't even close to singing the words. There was 3 guys better than me. But it was a learning process. So I learned a trade, and I eventually left the Cashmeres and formed my own group in high school called the Brooktones, which was Overbrook High, so it was Brooktones. And in that group, I made sure I was the lead singer. I had enough oohs and ahs by then. And at the 17 and a half, we went down to Cameo Parkway Records and auditioned. About 8 months later, we had the #1 record in the world called the Bristol Stomp. And then we had the Holy Goalie, a top 5 record. And then we had You Can't Sit Down, which was another #1 record.
The kids in Bristol are sharp as a pistol when they do the Bristol Stomp. Really something when the joint is jumping when they do the Bristol Stomp. Oh, I'm spinning him Friday night. They dance the greatest and they do right. But if the latest, it's a great sight. The kids in Bristol are sharp as a pistol when they do the Bristol Stomp.
We had a record out before that, one little record which I wrote called No, No, No. No, 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 don't stop me now, no, no, no. It was local, semi-hit. And then a few months later, they called us back in and they played this riff for us. Jinga-jinga-jing, 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 jing-jing, which they had actually copped from a record by the Students called 7 Days a Week, every day of the week. Sunday to Monday, Tuesday to Wednesday, Thursday to Friday. So I copped it and wrote, kids in Bristol are sharp as a pistol when they do. Everybody borrows in this industry. The key is knowing where to borrow. So we did a revamp of that, and we recorded it, and it wasn't a quick hit, but it grew and grew and grew, and eventually it was the #1 record, and platinum and everything. And I had just graduated high school, and I was still 17 and a half, wasn't quite 18, and I had the #1 record in the country.
They holler and whistle, no one stop. Be pony and twisted, him rock the daddy. The kids in Bristol are sharp as a pistol when they do the Bristol Stomp.
And so we had a manager then who was Chubby Checker's manager. His name was Nat Sigel. So he came to me one day, he said, boy, he said, I got a tour for you. I said, Nat, we're not even an act, you know, what kind of tour? He said, well, you rehearse for the next month or so. He said, because I got a tour, it's called the James Brown Tour. He said, I'm going to send you on tour. It's 2.5 months, 3 months. Well, I said, okay, fine. So we rehearsed, we got a little acting. We didn't need much. We only had 1 hit record at the time. And we started in Macon, Georgia, went to Savannah. We did all Georgia, Mississippi. We did Biloxi. We did Tennessee. We did everything that you could possibly do down south. And within the tour, we did 10 days at the Apollo, 10 days at the Howard Theater in Washington. We were the only white guys on this tour. And I didn't see any white people for about 3 months. At that time, we're talking 60s, early 60s, Howard Johnson's, Holiday Inns wouldn't take black people checking in. So we had to stay at all the black motels. And the black motels There were no rugs. There was no telephones in the room. And the wake-up call was, get up, the bus is leaving. And we did that for about 3 months. When we got out west, we did check in the regular motel chains. But so I spent the first 3 months on doing live shows. I spent with the James Brown tour. And I mean, it was a quick grow up. You know, when I grew up, I idolized a guy named Frankie Lyman, who was the lead singer from Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. Marvin, Smokey, James. I mean, and later, a few years later, these guys, they had become friends of mine. I was sitting in between, I was doing the Apollo Theater, and in between shows I think it was early evening, we were playing cards, a black card game called Tonk, which is like mini rummy. And we were playing Tonk sitting around the table, and I looked around the table, and I was playing cards with Sam Cooke and Smokey and Marvin and James's valet, and I was looking around the table, and I was like, the realization hit me. Look at these people I'm playing cards with. A year ago, I would have stood in line to get their autographs, and now I'm playing cards with these guys. Eventually, the Dovells wanted to be the fourth freshmen. They wanted to sing unison songs and stuff like that, and which would have been great, except not for me. Wouldn't have been great, number one. Number two, they couldn't sing that well. So, matter of fact, early in the Dovells days, we didn't even use the Dovells to sing background parts. We used the Times. The guys just sang something. As we stroll the lane together, holding hands, feeling kind of blue. So at that point, I said, you know, I'm not banging my head against the wall. It really hurt me, though. It scared the hell out of my parents. Because my answer was, oh, you know, let them have the name that I built. I felt. I'm not being modest, but I'm being for real. I felt that I had built that name, but I was willing, you know, go ahead, I'll leave it with them, and I'll just start over again. And my mother and father went crazy. They said, what are you doing? You finally made a life for yourself, and you're going to start over? Nobody knows you. And she was right, halfway right. The public didn't know if I was living or dead. The public knew the Dovells. I made two big mistakes in life early. One was not moving to Hollywood or New York. And two was not naming the group Lenny and the Dovells. It was just the Dovells. So when I left with nothing. And I had this confidence, and believe me when I tell you, it was a ridiculous degree of confidence for the expertise that I possessed at the time. I was crazy to take that risk, but it worked out. We did not part amicably. One of the guys and I, to this day, are embittered. The other two guys were pretty cool. But so I left out of the Dovells, and I started from scratch. And but the plus I had was the public didn't know me from Adam, but the industry did. The industry knew that Lenny was the voice of the Dovells. So I had no trouble getting contracts and recording deals. And by the time I had left the Dovells, I had 3 #1 records and 6 chart records with the group. And I left the group in 1966. Almost 1965, and I went out on my own. And then my record, I recorded a song called 1, 2, 3, and that was solid platinum worldwide.
It's easy, like taking candy from a baby.
my girlfriend at the time was the lead singer from the Marvelettes. Her name was Gladys Horton. And she had just had a huge record that said, Beechwood 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. You can call me up and have a day any old time. So I said to myself, how do I write a song with numbers? You know, because I wanted to make it. I wasn't opposed to shortcuts, by the way. So I 1, 2, 3 was originally 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's the girl I'm living for? The girl that belongs to me. And then I cut the 4 out, and eventually wrote the first line. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's how elementary it's gonna be. And I had in a bedroom one night. I was stumped. I didn't know what to do, and I was thinking. Believe it or not, and I'm not one of these. I'm not a holy roller. I'm not a holy guy. What I believe is what I believe, but I'm not a big church goer, synagogue goer, or anything like that. But a voice came to me and it said, second expression. I didn't know what it meant, but then I started to went back to work and I wrote 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's how elementary it's gonna be. Come on, let's fall in love. And then it hit me. It's easy, like taking candy from a baby. That was the second expression, and that's how I wrapped it up. And I'll never forget that little touch of luck there. We recorded out of Bell Sound. We recorded live. The band played live, and I sang live in a sound booth. And the first take was okay. Then we did it again, and the second take was what you hear. That was all we did. And when we heard the playback, we knew. The playback it came out much more dynamic than it went in. And we never knew it had that kind of dynamism to it, you know. But when that first line, 1, 2, 3, oh, that's how, oh man, when that came back, everybody was like stoned. Now, 1, 2, 3 emulated Bristol Stomp a little bit. It went city by city. It was at 104,000 records in Philadelphia. And then we got like Allentown and Easton and all up at Albany and Buffalo and Rochester. And we couldn't break the damn record nationally. And then a miracle happened. WABC in New York went on it and put it on their concise, condensed playlist. And it just broke. It was a monster. It went all over the country and then overseas. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
Baby, there's nothing hard about love. Basically, it's as easy as pie. The hard part is living without love. Without your love, baby, I would die.
When I did 1, 2, 3, there was an element of desperation in the performance. 1, 2, 3, oh, that's how elementary. And that desperation came from in a indigenous. It was me saying to the public, you know, please like this, because you know I don't know what I'm gonna do if you don't like this. And it was in the performance. And I learned through the years to sing a lot better. And I had great performances in Somewhere and Like a Baby and I Struck It Rich and other records. But I never had that desperation again. That same desperation. I mean, I knew what it was, but you can't duplicate that if you're not that desperate anymore. You know, and but if you listen to 1, 2, 3, which you have, there is that desperation in there, that begging in public, please, you know, because I do not know what I'm going to do in my life if you don't like me. But that 1, 2, 3 was a monster. And if you had a hit record, the company said, okay, come on, go do an album. We'll front you the cost of the album. You know, we'll pay for everything. Go do an album. So there I am. I need 12 songs. At that time, an album was like 10, 12 songs. And one of the things I wrote was Like a Baby. And it was real similar to 1, 2, 3 range-wise, but it was a different song. Actually, it was a better song. Oh, when you smile, you're so adorable, so infantile, just like a little child because you smile, just like a baby, just like a baby.
When you smile, you're so adorable, so infantile, just like a little child, because you smile, just like a baby, just like a baby.
Which had a similar sound to 1, 2, 3. And I kind of got slammed for doing something so similar, but a lot of it had to do with my sound. My sound was similar, so I couldn't change my sound. But it went top 10. You know, I'm 75 years old. I've lived everywhere in this world. I've played Wembley Stadium. I've played Prince Albert Hall. I've played the Apollo, the Uptown. I've played the Greek Theater. I've played the Hollywood Bowl. I've made movies. I've done everything. And there's nothing I haven't done. I've lived in Shanghai. I've lived in Wellington. I've lived all over the world. But just a little while ago, I got a letter from Overbrook High School Alumni Association informing me that I was being inducted into the Overbrook High School Hall of Fame. And it trumps everything that I just mentioned. The greatest gift I was ever given, the best way to demonstrate it graphically is when I sit down and I pick up that yellow legal pad and there's nothing on it, and an hour and a half later, it's filled with a song or a poem or a short story. There is no greater gift than that. When I croak, I'll be writing something. I'll be learning. I'll be singing something. I'll be doing something. You know. I had great relations my whole career, and thank God I'm still here. You know, still young and gorgeous.
1, 2, 3. Oh, that's elementary. It's gonna be. Come on, let's fall in love. It's easy. Like taking candy from a baby. ABC. Falling in love with you was easy for me. And you can do it too. It's easy. Like taking candy from a baby. Baby, there's nothing hard about love. Basically, it's as easy as pie. The hard part is living without love. Without your love, baby, I would die. 1, 2, 3.
I'm Tom, I made that. Thanks for coming. This is awesome. So, any questions?
How did you find him, and what made you want to do a film about him?
It's a good story. So my day job is I produce healthcare-related programming, and I happen to be in Philadelphia producing a piece for an assisted living facility. Part of that production is they'd have me interview the residents there, and in comes this guy. He sits down, I didn't know who he was, and he's just, oh, you know, and I just ask questions like, what's it like living there? And he's like, oh, the food's great here. I can't walk very well. They got a great physical therapy program. I'm like, oh, wonderful. I just needed a 10-second soundbite, so I got my stuff, and I'm taking the mic off him. And I say, hey, you know, Lenny, you're pretty good on camera. Have you done this before? He says, I had a bunch of hit records in the 1960s. I'm like, wait, what? And so I said, well, can I ask you some more questions? And he let me spend half a day with him, and he told me his entire life story. Showed me a bunch of his gold records and stuff that he just had in his little room in this facility, and there you have it. And he was so excited to talk to me, and I mean, I got him for 3 hours talking on camera, but got it down to a 20-minute movie. And yeah, it was just a joy to spend 4 or 5 hours with.
Gosh, Tom, thanks for doing that.
Oh, sure. Thanks for coming.
Wow. You know, it has this, I remember those songs as a kid.
Oh, great, good. You're our target audience, so thank you.
But also, it has a
Philadelphia, yeah.
Parkway and Chess and all of those things.
Mhm.
It's like, man, like 10 more minutes and you would have been there.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I was born in 1973, but the 1, 2, 3 song has been used in movies throughout the 90s. I know in, there's this movie called Mr. Holland's Opus with Richard Dreyfuss. That's the opening credits song. And so when I'm sitting there with him, and I just did a quick Google while he's right there. I'm like, 1, 2, I know this song. And he just, there's one-hit wonders, but he had a couple of hits. So it was just really, I was really lucky to find him. And he did not. So when COVID hit, I filmed that. I call it the accidental documentary because I was just like, okay, I have all this footage. What do I do with it? And I was in the middle of so many other projects. COVID hit, and then they called me, and the guy who runs the facility, he called me and said that Lenny had passed. I was like, well, now I have to do something with this footage. So, yeah, I just kind of cut it together, and it's been playing at festivals all around the country in the last year.
Have you sent a copy to his high school?
I have not, no. I did reach out to them because I wanted to say, do you have like a plaque or something with his picture? And they never got back to me. But I did hear from his son. I got a Facebook message after I finished the film from Spencer Borisoff from Tampa, Florida. Hey, I understand you made a movie about my dad. I was like, what? Yeah, here's the link, hoping he liked it. I had not submitted to any film festivals yet. And I sent him a link, and it's 20 minutes long. 30 minutes later, I got a message back saying, hey, this was wonderful. Thank you for making this. And I was like, because you don't know, I don't know. Yeah. So.
What was the hardest part about the story to convey?
The hardest part was the editing. So like I said, about 3 hours of him talking on camera, and he was extremely nonlinear. He would jump decades back and forth. So I knew even after I filmed this was going to be hard to edit, just because I didn't know, the initial cut I had was 1 hour and 15 minutes long. And he was talking about the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and he was still touring in the 90s. He was actually the opening act for TLC on their world tour in the 90s. But there's no footage, there's no period. That was the hardest part, was finding footage of this guy from the 60s. So I did make that decision to make it a 20-minute film about his heyday, which was the 60s. So.
Where did you get the footage? How did you find it?
There's this thing called Google. Glenn Mary, footage. And unfortunately, most of it, as you can tell, is kind of low quality. I up-res the heck out of it with all my tricks.
Oh, it looks really cool.
Yes, but he did have a lot of photos right in his little room there, and he let me scan those, and some of the records he had right there I just shot while I was there.
He must have been on TV, I think it was called TV Bandstand, because that was out of Philly. And I remember as a kid, all the high school, they would do high school kids.
Yeah.
He was in high school, so he had to be on TV Bandstand.
He was never on Bandstand, he told me that, but the footage you see was a show called Hullabaloo back in the 60s. And he had a couple of other TV appearances. And the stuff at the end, he did a couple of like local TV stuff in the 90s. That later footage you saw with the same ladies doing this. He just kept his act the whole time.
If you had more time, what more would you have told? What story do you think you could have developed?
Oh, the hour 15 version? I still have it. It's just him talking, though. And any filmmaker will tell you, it's not radio. You need to see what's going on. He had a lot of stories about meeting Diana Ross when she was a waitress, before she was famous. He had a lot of great stories. I just, from a storytelling, I needed to show stuff, not just have a talking head for 1 hour and 15 minutes. But yeah, he plays pretty well.
And I interviewed Tom last week, and the question I had for him was when he talks about Overbrook High School,
Yeah.
as being his the thing that mattered most to him to get into the Hall of Fame for Overbrook. I said, did you know right then that was your ending?
Sure. All of us filmmakers know that. We're interviewing. I'm editing in my head as he's talking. Like, oh, that's my ending. Oh, and he died. That's a pretty solid ending too. Sorry, Lenny.
The top 40 thing where he had his song.
Yeah.
Underneath was the Rolling Stones.
So the Supremes. And I was when I was finding those online. The week before, the Beatles were number 1. I was like, oh man, you bumped the Beatles? Okay. You did okay. So no. Oh, thank you.
See the long form, really would.
We'll see. Yeah, cool. This is great. Thank you for. I want to thank John Williams for putting this on, and supporting independent film. Really, really appreciate this, and we hope this keeps going every month. So, thank you. We have very little venues to show our short films, so this is a great venue for that. Thank you. Cool. Do I do that?
Would you do more documentaries on, people's stories?
Yeah, I'm doing one right now. Yeah, this is what I do for a living. So, well, my day job is I produce healthcare programming, so for local TV, Channel 31. But I'm working on a documentary right now. This should be done actually maybe next month. It's not a rock and roll one, but it's another about one person.
Can you tell us who it is?
Yeah, it's a local guy. It's it's a Christmas-themed movie about a very obsessive guy's yearly quest to build the perfect Christmas tree. So, and we just finished filming last week, so I just started editing. It might take a couple months. So there you go. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much for coming. All right.